Good day, RGV. Today on Valley por Vida, we're learning all about custom woodworking and using epoxy to create unique holiday gifts. We're also going to be learning how to properly throw axes with our friends at Axe Republic, plus a short film called The Letter, with advice from dads around the world, why it's so meaningful, all that and more today on Valley por Vida. Hey there, and thanks again for joining us today. I'm your host, Danielle Banda, and I am so glad that you've tuned in because we're talking all about a fun hobby that you've got to try out, using epoxy for art. Now, I had never tried this until we visited my friend Tuvi at his woodworking shop in McAllen. We had so much fun designing fun things like you see on screen right there, and you can try it too. We dropped by Tuvi's Woodworking in McAllen to tell us all about how it's done. Go ahead and take a look.
So we're gonna do an ocean pattern today, and we're gonna have a little beach. Now for the beach, we could go yellow and just have it a simple yellow. Or we could have just added some glitter like we did, and that way we get a little bit more depth to our piece. So all we're gonna do over here is we're gonna pour a little bit, and all of this is epoxy that we pre-mixed, because we can't give away all our secrets. Sorry, Daniela. We're just gonna take that and we're just gonna start out by spreading that all over our piece so we have a nice even layer. Now it doesn't have to be perfectly even, it's okay. Lines don't have to be perfectly straight. Last time I checked, nature wasn't perfect and neither are we, so it's all good. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start adding the colors for the ocean. Now, the deeper colors usually go in the back, obviously, and then you have the lighter colors in the front. So what we do is we just start pouring a little bit of light, and we're gonna leave some gaps here, and there's a reason for the gaps. Then once you see it, you'll understand. And a little bit of this. Then we're gonna add a little bit of the dark. And don't worry if you're spilling over, it's all good. Nobody cares. Everybody will be okay with you. Another little line of that. And we're gonna fill the rest of it up with the dark blue, as much as we can. And if we're missing some dark blue, we'll make it up somewhere else. Make sure you get the tip of the nose. All right, cool. Now we have all these over here. We're gonna take another stick and you see all these, there's lines and the lines are very, very defined. We don't want that. So we're gonna take a little stick. We're just gonna mix them in here. We're gonna mesh everything together so we get these different colors and different tones. They're just gonna go like that. And yeah, I know it doesn't look like an ocean right now, but just wait. Be patient, grasshoppers. I promise you, you will be impressed. We got the one, and now the reason we're changing is because we're now gonna go into a different one, and we don't want to carry everything over. We want to kind of drag this in here. We're just kind of mixing, and there's no rhyme or reason to where everything is going. It's just going. You see, we dragged a little bit, no biggie. I say we don't want to do something, and then I do it. That's my life. That is perfect. Now, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna say, okay, we need some waves, right? So first of all, we're gonna mix the ocean. Take a heat gun. This guy is like the powerful version. We're just gonna blow this out real quick. You get a piece that catches on fire. But this just blows out all the rest of the bubbles.
All right, well, I actually dropped by his shop and Tuvi helped me make a beautiful star with the design of sparkling ocean water since I live on South Padre Island and I just love the beach. And he can help you create custom magic too. Feel free to drop by his McAllen location or give his website a visit for all of those details. Anything customized or personalized makes a touching gift for someone that you care about. And one father decided to take it to a whole new level. He wanted to give his daughter something so special and personal that she could carry with her forever. He decided that advice from her dad would be something that she could treasure no matter what age, so he went ahead and compiled it into an official video gift. In order to create it, he looked at his own network of father figures who then looked to their own network, and so on and so on. Before he knew it, he had tons of pieces of advice from fathers around the world, and that created what is now known as a short film called The Letter.
Well, thanks so much for having me. I'm really excited to talk today about our short film, The Letter. And The Letter is a film of advice from dads to daughters. And that's important because certainly as our children grow and get ready to leave the nest, we kind of wonder as parents if they will remember all of the advice, the wisdom, the lessons that we've tried to pass down to them throughout their upbringing. And we created this and kind of curated it from advice from fathers from around the world. And how that started is I reached out to my network as my daughter was getting ready to graduate high school. I wanted to write her one last journal entry that I'd be giving to her. And I wanted that entry to be advice from her father. And knowing that I didn't have all of the best world advice in my head, I wanted to reach out to other dads and seek their advice. So I reached out to my network, and what was really cool is my network reached out to their network, and before you knew it, we had advice from really hundreds of fathers from around the world, and it was really a magical experience. And so I took that advice and I took and combined it and put it into this final journal entry for my daughter and passed that on to her. And man, it was a special moment. And that was the way I got the idea for what's now become The Letter. And so The Letter video is a testament to all of those dads that were kind enough to give us their heart and their heartfelt advice. So that's how it started, at least. Ultimately, it's a message of hope, inspiration, and love. And it's to impart to our daughters and our children that they get to create their identity each and every day, regardless of the pressure of social media and the world around them. As the film was released, reactions have been, well, we pre-released it to a handful of people to let them watch it and give us feedback. And tears were the reaction with almost everyone that's watched this film. It is a visually beautiful production of a really heartfelt message from father to daughter. And the really neat thing as you watch the video is that message transitions from one father to multiple fathers to fathers from around the world in different languages, different backgrounds, to different daughters from around the world with different backgrounds. And it's the collective wisdom of fathers from around the world to the collective daughters around the world. And it's been quite well received, and it's a beautiful movement.
With the potentially negative impact of social media always present, it can be a challenge for parents to provide meaningful advice to their kids. So Ken hopes that The Letter will help fathers connect and be more present in their kids' lives. It's a short story of hope and inspiration that brings real advice from dads all around the world into focus, and we hope that you can definitely give it a watch. Isn't it funny how the world used to be pretty much communicating by letter, and now it's all email or video calling? It makes us appreciate letters, though, as a form of connecting. So in honor of all letters all around the world, here's today's Fun Facts segment. According to EasyScienceForKids.com, the earliest mail carriers went on foot, horse, or even by carriage to deliver mail. And today, the United States Postal Service collects, sorts, and delivers millions of letters daily. And get this, Today, a letter moves from New York all the way to San Francisco in less than 7 hours. But in the 1900s, it took about 4.5 days to get there. And if you want to go back even further, in 1850, it took 4 to 6 weeks to arrive. And back in the 1800s, the cost of sending just one letter containing one sheet of paper across the country was 25 cents, which is about 3.65 cents today. I'm not really good at math, but those are interesting facts. A lot has changed, but it's still so amazing to see how the entire operation of the mail system and delivery works. And all right, you guys, it is time now to take a commercial break, and then we're going to take a look at your local weather updates, but you've got to stay tuned because Valley por Vida will be back. And we'll be speaking to a special guest in studio, and he's showing us how to throw axes for fun right here at the TV station. Plus, he's got a special invite for you to do it at his place in Far. Those details plus so much more after the break.